So welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. If you choose to see evil, evil is all that you're going to see. The West looks at China as an evil empire. So when they portray China in any form of media, government, whatever from the United States, all they do is spout evil stuff. And that's just the way it is. They don't look at themselves. They don't understand what's right and wrong. They just see evil, so they say evil, and they leave it at that. They don't grow. They don't know any better. The Western propaganda machine, news, social media, newspapers, platforms, whatever. It really doesn't make a difference, but it's all based on the same thing. It's to make China look like an evil empire. They look at China as a communist country. How dare you be communist? They have to eradicate it. They think it's so evil that they have to go out of their way to make sure that China is taken off the face of the earth one way or another. And that's exactly what they think. And it's not all Americans, it's not all Europeans, it's not all Canadians, but there is a significant portion of that population that actually thinks that way. And that is disturbing as hell. They talk about the re-education camps for the Uyghurs in Xinjiang province, but they don't tell you about how young people in these education camps, not re-education, because that was a problem to begin with. They weren't educated. They're easily manipulated by terrorist factions, bad people. They don't tell you about them gaining skills that can help them in their future lives. They don't tell you about how that can better their family. They don't tell you that they learn how to build buildings. They don't tell you that they learn how to do accounting. They don't tell you that they learn how to do a number of different skills that can help them better their lives. No, it's just a re-education camp, and it's evil because China's evil, and that's just the way it is. They don't tell you that the pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong burnt a man alive. They don't tell you these things because they only want to show their side because China's evil, but they're not. And when the people in the United States see these ridiculous lies on the internet, they eat it up like it was the God-honest truth. It makes no sense to me. Like, where do these people, and they say that they're a first world country with lots of education and all of that, but when somebody spouts lies about another country, like, look, I walk down the street, I can do whatever I want. Maybe I should go over there and buy a beer off that pretty girl working in that store. Yeah, let's go do it. You see, and that's what it is. It's a Western superiority complex that I don't know where they get this from. You know, they're basically not superior to anyone else in the world. They don't understand the world as it is. Most of them don't even own passports. I can't understand it because you get into a country like China that has 1.4 billion people. It has high-rises, it has subways, it has high-speed trains, it has state-of-the-art airports, it has damn near 100% employment. It's beat the COVID-19 back in a couple of months. It's just that much of a better country. You can go to a local store and buy a beer, walk down the street, drink your beer. You can go out for Chinese food, breakfast every morning for $1. You can do all of these things here, and people think that the West is better. Why? I don't get it. They talk about China taking away democracy from Hong Kong as they have coups around the world that they back, and say Guatemala. I wrote this down. Guatemala in 54, Iran in 53, the Congo in 1960, Dominican Republic in 61, South Vietnam in 63, Brazil in 64, Chile in 73. Actually, there were 73 coups the U.S. government admits to. You know what I mean? So as they're telling you that China is taking away the democracy of the Tibetan people, occupying Tibet as the United States occupies Iraq. You know what I mean? So it's like the superiority complex that they have. It's so blatant and irresponsible that you look at it and you say, well, okay, you can occupy Iraq, but China can't occupy Tibet that has been part of China in the past. So I ask you, when has Iraq ever been part of the United States? And what gives them the right to occupy a country like Iraq on the other side of the world? Like, seriously. It just doesn't make any sense to me. They talk about Taiwan as it is a country, but then they don't recognize the elected officials in Venezuela. Think about that. Vilifying China as they do worse to other countries around the world. You know, it's one of those things that the Americans think that they can get away with murder. Oh, that's right. They do get away with murder on a regular basis all around the world. And nobody in the world has stood up to them until now. Because China's not going to roll over for these guys. And that's just the way it is. They think they have the moral high ground. What about the Marshall Islands? And the nuclear tests on the Marshall Islands. Like, think about that for a minute, where the people in the Marshall Islands are still, after like 50 years later, have cancers, thyroid cancers that have been linked back to all of the nuclear tests done in their area by the United States of America. Oh yeah, hush hush guys, don't want to tell anybody about that. We have the moral high ground. We are better. We don't do those things. Only China, that evil empire, does bad things. Over the years, how many wars, how many peacekeeping missions, how many I don't know, just getting into other people's business has the United States been involved with in the last 70 years? And how many has the Chinese government been involved with? Vietnam and Korea, yes, both against the United States. No wonder they're pissed off. They lost the Vietnamese War, and it was sort of a stalemate in the Korean War. So they've really never beat the Chinese at anything lately. Well, or 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago. How long was the Vietnam War? That was in, 1975, April 1975, when they finally pulled out. So, holy smokes, that's 45 years ago, guys. It comes down to ideology. Democracy against communism. And the Americans think that democracy is the only way to go. Okay, well, that's fine. And the Chinese think communism, as it stands, well, it's not really communism anymore. It's capitalism, socialism, communism, all rolled into one. And they think that's the way to go. So where do we go from here? Now look at all of the things you've got going on in the United States. You've got gangs, you got drugs, you got mass shootings, you've got riots, you've got police killing black people, you've got mass shootings, you've got civil unrest, you've got a president that is basically freaking nuts, you've got a warmongering understanding about the world. You have people losing their homes. You've got COVID-19 that's got 5 million people sick and 170 or 80,000 people dead. Holy frickin' moly, guys. I haven't looked at the numbers lately, so I just generalize. And then you've got a place like China where there's no gangs, there's no drugs, there's no tent cities, there's no COVID-19. There's nobody dying. Everybody's back to work. Oh, and I forgot to say, business is going out of business. Business is boarded up. People losing their jobs. People have no health care. People have, and it goes on and on, guys. You know, so where does this superiority complex actually come from? I don't get it. Like, I really don't freaking get it. You've got national debt. You've got a society that is basically segregated between races, black against white. You've got ghettos. You've got you've got no-go zones for even the police in the United States. My God, frick, you guys. You know, you got to think about that. And now these people are superior in some way to a place like this in China, where people are just going about their daily chores and having a good life, making money, eating good Chinese food. They're safe. Everybody's safe. Even if you can buy beer and walk down the street drinking beer, you're still safe. You know what I mean? Like, as I ask again, where does this superiority complex come from? I see in the comment sections of a lot of my videos where, you know, Americans or Europeans or Canadians or whoever the hell they are, where they're not pleased with what I say. But you know, they've got to understand that there's a lot of truth to what I say. It may not fit into their little understanding of the world, but it is what it is, guys. If you can't fit into the world is going to be a very terrible place for you. And you can see it in the United States now with their economy going into the toilet. A lot of people out of work. It's sad. A lot of people dying. It's sad. A lot of people blaming other people. It's sad. If they didn't blame other people, when they would have to take responsibility for themselves and the way things are, and their superiority complex would be bashed against the rocks. So they're not going to do that. Some will, but not all of them. So when you get a president like Donald Trump, China, you know, with a Y, things like that, it's China's fault. Everything is China's fault. As long as you keep that up, you're going to have division, not only in your own country between the whites and the blacks, but you're going to have division in the world between the Americans and the Chinese, the Americans and the East Asian people, because everyone over here identifies as Asian. So when you attack China, you're attacking the whole region, which has a big population, guys. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell, and never forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. It's for poor rural Chinese children. They just need a helping hand, and we can give them that helping hand. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.